It's the same thing.
It is?
It is.
Oh, wait. Can I give myself something fun?
Give yourself something fun? I don't know how do you do that. Oh, you've added Google effects.
Look. I'm a princess pirate.
Oh, no, I see it.
That pretty? It's been on forever. I'll just leave it up for a second. Wait, I want to be a regular pirate.
Okay. That's September 19th, though, just so you know. National Pirate Day.
Oh, that's when we get free donuts?
That's when you get free donuts.
Oh, I thought of you today at the church we visited. They gave out Krispy Kreme.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. In the name of Jesus.
Did you just love donuts?
Hello, everyone. You're here. Do we know if we have any viewers yet?
It says 0 viewers. But it is recording it.
Yeah.
So this is what will be
Allison,
on the rewatch.
did you make a post?
What?
Okay.
I posted.
Did you make a post? Okay.
Question me again and I'll make you walk the plank.
What, I don't have a thought. Y'all, my phone is my everything. What time is it? What time do we want to get started?
It's 8:59. We should probably wait till we have at least a viewer.
That's a good idea.
Well, okay.
And at least let somebody say, hey, I can't get in if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
If somehow it's not working. But what I was telling you earlier, Miranda, so Allison, I don't know if you saw my super greenness. There was
Hold on, I was totally distracted. Watch the hat when I chew.
Hey, this is so stupid because we're already live and it's going to be on the recording, but I don't care.
We have a viewer.
Do I go, oh, hey.
Somebody's watching.
Do I go on the big screen?
Whenever you talk, you get on the big screen.
Because it never shows me, and so I would just always wondered if I just wasn't loud enough, which is so rare.
Yeah. On the big screen now.
Oh. Huh? See, you're on the big screen for me, Allison.
Aww.
Mine keeps flipping around to whoever's talking. Two viewers.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
I wish there were. How do I know who they are?
They could comment, couldn't they?
Yeah, or in the question, I don't know where you do comments. In a question,
This is awfully involved.
anybody who's viewing, can you see the question and answer box? Can you submit a question so we can make sure it's working?
If they can't, how are they supposed to answer you?
Well, we just went from 3 viewers to 1.
Oh no!
And no viewers.
I feel like it's all my fault with the pirate hat.
Well, you took it off and then they left, so.
Oh, I should put it back on.
Okay, Candace is here, or she was. I don't know where she went.
Oh, I could see. You just have to click on the Q&A box, right?
Yeah, but Candace answered.
What Q&A box?
Gabby says hello.
There we go. There's Gabby and Jill. Okay.
Y'all.
You don't see it, Miranda?
Yay!
Wait, who? Gabby?
Gabby. Gabby Coffin.
Okay.
Gabby with a G.
Gabby with a G.
Gabby. Gabby Coffin.
Oh, that's my girl!
Yay!
Shout out. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna pull my seat closer. This is not working.
Okay, let's give like 3 more minutes because it's 9:02. Give 3 more minutes to get anybody on who's going to get on, and then we'll just get started.
Can I text while I do this? Is that possible?
I don't know.
It might just freeze you. Yeah, it just freezes you.
Okay.
We see your pretty little thumbnail.
Great. Not my mom, not Chelsea.
Somebody said it's really glitchy and goes in and out.
It's probably because I'm typing.
Oh. Don't judge me, East Coasters. Dinner time out here.
Where did you guys go?
We're still right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah.
I know this is riveting while we wait.
Yeah. Very entertaining.
Are you guys on a computer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on my phone app.
Ooh.
Okay, one more minute. Oh, no, you're sideways, Miranda.
Oh, I'm gonna come back around in a second.
When I come around.
They just click on the link, right?
Yep. It should take them to where they can view it.
Allison, or one of you, since you're on a computer, can
Yeah.
you guys make a note that they're not going to be seen if they get on, but they're just tuning in?
You want me to just put it on my same post that I did?
Yeah, just in the comments or whatever, and just let them know that, FYI, you're just tuning in.
But they can ask in the Q&A, right?
Yep.
And they can only click on the Q&A if they're on a computer. Is that correct?
I mean, there's a chat box on the...
I think that's different.
I just didn't see a Q&A. But that's just me not spending time on it, so...
I have people asking questions. Which
Do we
is
need to
good,
wait a
right?
minute longer?
You know what?
How many viewers do we have right now?
6.
Okay.
Oh, good. Sean's helping people. I don't know if Sean is one of the viewers. If she is, she's helping my people. Hooray! You guys, I tried to win one of those auction things.
Oh, yeah? You
Well,
get massively outbid.
I got outbid.
I mean, Joel Dunn's gonna win everything. Every single t-shirt. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at the coaching ones, though. What does the coaching stuff say?
That's what I was trying to win. It was like a t-shirt plus a coaching call with one of the ambassadors that put themselves up there. And a bunch of them were adding things to it, like their favorite books, or like
Wow.
Lori Conway added a size 6 pair of Louboutins. Like, whoa!
Oh my God.
I know, but I didn't win any of them.
I mean, is it over?
Yeah.
Oh. How much did it go for?
The Lori Conway one,
Yeah.
like 400 something.
Jeepers.
Yeah, you still got a flinging of a deal on the shoes.
Yeah.
All right, so my people are saying they can't comment when they're on their phone,
Okay.
but
That's okay. If they can't comment,
ask a
this is
question.
working. If they want to text one of us, I mean, If
Okay.
somebody needs to post or text, we'll try and keep an eye on it.
All right, I was trying to ask a question via text. I think we should get going.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for being on. We're really excited to do this. If you don't know who we are, I'm Miranda.
I'm Erin.
Oh, I'm Allison.
And we are all three Diamond leaders with It Works. And basically we're going to be doing these Google Hangouts a lot more often. So we're going to keep them fairly short. We're not looking to do really super in-depth trainings, but we want to do little trainings here and there just to help you guys out and just to have something that we can all plug into and that will better our business as we are all continuing on this awesome journey that we're on. Tonight we're talking about the personality test and more specifically the color test that you can learn more about your personality and other personalities with. And we refer to the color personality test a lot with It Works, and I think it's because they did it as a company at one point when we were much smaller. And so you'll hear a lot of times, well, I'm a green, or who's a blue, and so they'll say things like that. And it's important to know what exactly they're talking about, and it will help shape the conversations that you have with your team members and shape the conversations that you have with your customers. So tonight we're going to be going over that, and Erin and Allison have been at a training where they've actually done this before and talked a little bit more in depth about it. So they've got some notes that they're going to read from, and we're going to go from there and then kind of keep it conversation style because lucky for y'all, we're all different colors. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So y'all take it.
Okay, so you should have seen, or if you didn't, we can post again, or you can look back on the Rap Slingers page. We posted the link to the color personality test, and you can take it online. It takes like 7 minutes maybe to go through, and you're just supposed to answer honestly, and then it'll email you your results, and then it gives you like a little synopsis of what each of the colors represents. So if you've done that before this chat, then that's excellent. You'll kind of know what we're talking about. And if you haven't, that's totally okay. You can take it afterwards and then go, oh, this is so me. Or that's why I connected with her so much, or whichever. So you can grab that link and take the little testy test.
So each of the colors that we're going to go over, there's 4 colors total. There's red, blue, yellow, and green. And everybody is a little bit of each of them. Nobody is necessarily 100% in one category, but there's definitely one that you probably lean towards, and you will find yourself. I'm going to read you some pros and cons of each one of those types, and you might be able to identify yourself just that way alone. Okay, so
start with the extroverts.
Okay, so we got 2 categories of extroverts. We have our reds. Your red is your driven, goal-oriented, money-focused leaders. Natural-born leaders. They're decisive. Really awesome to have in a business like this. One of the cons, or some of the cons, that might go with someone who's red, they tend to be bossy or critical, impatient, selfish, tactless sometimes. They don't mean to be, but opinionated. That's your reds. That's your reds. None of us are reds.
Well, we all have a little bit of red.
Everybody's got a tiny bit of red, but none of us are overtly red.
Which is good because we're all business owners, so we need to have a little bit of red in us.
That's true. Can I do blue?
You can do blue.
Okay. Blue is the other extrovert color. Blues are fun-loving, they're people-loving, they're bubbly and talkative and impulsive in a good way, meaning that they jump at things and don't miss out on an opportunity in that way. Some cons for a blue: they're often late, disorganized, scattered, forgetful, and loud. And that impulsive word can be a con too, because sometimes you jump at the wrong thing.
I will tell you about greens. Green people tend to be organized, detailed, love structure. These are the type of people who have probably read the policies and procedures and know all of the documents in the back office. They ask a lot of questions. These are the people who want to know why everything works the way it does and why things happen. That's pros, but some of the cons for this personality type, they tend to be moody and sentimental, deep thinkers. They tend to be very rule-driven and inflexible, so they don't like when you go against the norm.
So greens were the first introvert option, and no, you're good. The second introvert option is yellow. Yellows are easygoing, middle of the road, nurturing, loyal, peacemakers, non-confrontational, and accommodating people. That unfortunately leads letting people run all over them, and often saying if something's too much trouble, they just plain won't do it. Did you have extras on that one?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flip and talk to each one of us and how being that particular color lends itself to working our businesses or hurts us when we're working our businesses. So let's start. Can we start with Miranda?
Start with me. Wait.
Yay!
Okay, sorry, I was reading something, but we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with me. Let's go.
Okay, so Miranda, what color are you?
I'm blue, and it's funny because as we're talking, the more familiar you get with how this test works and the colors in general, the more you can pick out as soon as you're listening to someone. And there's so many times throughout this whole thing so far where I'm like, oh, you're so green, or you're so yellow, or I'm so blue. I am blue to the core. I do have some green, some yellow, and some red in me. However, I told the girls this as well. Like, I really think that it rates me higher on a lot of those because blues tend to be overly optimistic. And when we answer questions about ourselves, we're just like, yeah, I kind of do that. Yeah, I do that too. And so in turn, your scores will be a little bit higher in every category than they probably should be. But I'm definitely blue through and through. So awesome. I forgot about this training and invited friends over tonight.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So let's think about, Miranda, you being blue when it comes to blitzing, because we all know Miranda is an awesome blitzer. So how does being blue help you when you blitz?
Being blue helps me because I'm not making a new friend. So I will walk up to anyone and talk to anyone and just, even if I don't have a blitz card in my hand, I'll just start talking about the business or something to get my foot in the door, whether they have some kind of color of green on that doesn't even remotely match our color. I'll make it work. So it doesn't hold me back, and even though blitzing does still make me nervous sometimes, it helps push me forward because I'm an extrovert. I would say that it hinders me sometimes in the sense that I don't always follow through with what I say. It goes along the lines of being forgetful and being late. I'm always late to everything. So I forget to do things because I'm already running late. And so a lot of times I'll tell someone that I will message them something, or I'll bring them something, or I'll text them something, and a lot of times I'll forget about it. So that's probably the worst part when it comes to blitzing and following up with people.
Okay, how does being blue hurt or help you when you're wrapping people?
I think because I interject too much starts hurting. I may interject. I find myself, and I hate it when I do this too, when someone hesitates and they are looking for the words to say, and I think I already know the words that they're going to say, so I just start talking like that's the words that they've already said, and they're like, oh, no, well, I mean, kind of, and they just kind of like have to backtrack and then tell me all over again. So I talk too much, but it helps me in the sense that there's never really a quiet moment, like there's never a dull moment. I don't mind asking questions, and so I get to know them really, really well in the wrap room. And I hear a lot about what they have going on, and because I'm asking them constantly, so what's this going on, and what's this, and I just have to make sure I actually retain it all.
And what about when you're gathering and taking care of loyal customers? How does being blue help you with that?
Gathering and retaining, it's good because I love to keep my relationships up with people. I hate losing friends, so I'm constantly wanting to check in with people and see how they're doing, and just continuing that friendship, and it works with my business at the same time. So even if they tell me that they want to stop their auto ship, that's fine, and I'll still follow up with them even after they've stopped their auto ship, because I want to maintain that friendship, which helps build lasting business partnerships as well.
And then what about leading your team? How does being blue affect you as you lead a team?
I'm really excited a lot of the time. I think it helps as well because I do want to reach out to everyone, and so I don't really care where you're at on my levels. I want to reach out to every person because I want to get to know everyone, and I realize at a certain point that gets really chaotic, but it feels good to know everyone and to get to talk to everyone and see where they're at. And I think having that close relationship with everybody, or at least being able to talk to someone that's leading your team, is important to get to do. I think sometimes it can help because I'm forgetful. I mean, the times that it hurts, it usually goes back to the same thing. I usually forget what I'm talking about when I'm on a subject. So, but they're patient with me, and that's good. But yeah, for the most part, I think it just helps being really enthusiastic all the time, and having fun with everybody.
Allison, what are you?
I'm yellow. If that's okay with you guys, I'll be yellow. Yeah, I'm very yellow, and I catch myself a lot. And there are lots of times when I'm really critical of myself, and I think, oh, if only I were more red, or if only I weren't so yellow, because it really can hurt. It really can hurt me in the business to be so yellow.
Why? What about when you're blitzing? How does that hurt or help?
Oh, being yellow means that I'm a little fearful of what people are going to think of me if I blitz them. And I really have to watch my language, not like beep, 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 but like I have to watch the way that I word things, because if it could come out sounding really weak or really unconfident. So I have to be really careful and intentionally say, I'm going to give this person this blitz card, and it might be the best thing for them, and that's why I have to do it. So I kind of have to like pump myself up and remind myself why the business and the wraps and the opportunity and the greens and why everything is so awesome, because that's got to move me forward, not the, ooh, I get to meet somebody new kind of idea. So I have to focus on that with blitzing. But I think being yellow helps me with blitzing too, because I can like, I don't know, because I'm easygoing and I have a nurturing quality to me, it helps me want to help other people. I don't get like tunnel visioned on my own little bubble world. Like I'm always looking at how can I help somebody else.
And what do you think what about when you're wrapping people, like when you're at parties? Is that good for you, or is that hard for you?
I think it's good, because when I'm yellow and I'm wrapping people, because of that nurturing, kind, non-confrontational vibe that I would have going on, people feel more comfortable opening up their bodies to me, if that makes sense. Yeah, like I'm not threatening, you know what I mean? That way it's helpful. Like I've got a nice calm vibe going on that makes people feel not so nervous to lift up their shirt or pull down their pants a little bit. But it definitely hurts in the wrap room, because I'm yellow and don't ask for the money up front unless I tell myself, ask for the money up front, don't forget. And so then I find myself being the one that goes, I could take check or cash, or like I have like a Square thing on my phone, and I didn't get payment from some of you guys, so if you could just, yeah, so that's not good. I always have to say, Allison, get your money up front. Get it up front.
What about when you're leading your team?
Oh, I get that mama bear tendency. Like, I really don't want any of them to feel bad. I don't want any of them to experience negativity from somebody, or to feel like they don't matter. So it makes it like I care really, really deeply about them. Maybe it makes them a little uncomfortable how much I care about them. And because I have that non-confrontational thing, it makes it tricky when I'm trying to take care of my team. It's like, okay, well, I want to do the right thing by them, but what if this and what if that? And I don't want so-and-so to get her feelings hurt, or I don't want so-and-so to feel left out. So it makes that decision-making when I'm taking care of my team into a really tricky thing. If it's too much trouble, maybe I just won't do it thing.
I know we didn't ask Miranda this, but do you have any advice on when you would be a yellow receiving the blitz? So let's say someone is a yellow being blitzed. I feel like I remember at training them saying those are the type of people who are going to take the card regardless and maybe give you their number even if they're not interested because they don't want to offend you. Is that true?
It is true. It's definitely true. Yes. I get myself into a lot of things because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I keep a telemarketer on the phone for way too long before I tell them I'm not interested. I get that from my dad. My mom cut him off from like answering the phone if it was a number they didn't recognize because he would like say yes to everything and buy all the things and donate to all the causes, and she had to like cut him off from that. But yeah, Erin, it's so important to kind of get an idea in your head of who this person is that you're talking to. So the colors are really important, not because you need to know all about yourself, but also because you need to know about the other people and how to best approach them. That's a really good question. If you're approaching somebody who seems rather yellow, you have to be careful not to walk all over them. You have to think to yourself, is this something she's really into? You know, am I upselling her on these extra things, or am I getting her to do something she really doesn't want to do? And you just kind of have to really step back and think, is she just being nice? Is she just being nice?
I wonder how many kidnappers are yellows.
Ooh, that's a really interesting.
That's a good question. Yeah.
You know, when they want to help and they want to be your friend, but they're not really that interested in doing it.
Yeah, but I don't think if you're really yellow, I don't think that you would be the kidnapper to the extent of like ignoring the person when they're trying to talk to you. Like if I ignore somebody, it is completely by accident because I feel like a terrible, awful person if I have missed something, or if I like miss a message, or it falls through the cracks or whatever. So I don't think a yellow kidnapper would ignore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of kidnappers would most likely be blue because we jump into things, we're impulsive, we jump into things a little bit fast, and then suddenly we're like, I don't know what I'm doing with this thing, or we just lose interest really quickly, or it just sits in our room or something, and we're like, we forget about it because it's something shiny is always coming at us, and we're like, oh, it's shiny, there's a butterfly over there, and we just run, and we forget that we even signed up. We're like, oh, I think I did that once. Someone blitzes you later down the road, and you're like, did I do this? I think I did this at one point.
Well, let's backtrack in real quick, and Miranda, let's ask you, what do we need to be mindful of if we're blitzing a blue? Or if we have a blue customer?
No, this is me being way overly optimistic as well. It's hard to like offend a blue, and I mean, if it's me, I mean, maybe this is me having more yellow in me too, but I do the same thing as far as like, I usually, if someone's handing me something, I usually take it, or I'll very nicely decline. But I mean, excitement is great. If you come up to me and you're like trying to talk off, or you seem really unsure about yourself, then I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, and I'm thinking more about why is she so uncomfortable telling me about this, or good Lord, that's a lot of details. If a red blitzes me, then they're usually really overconfident, I guess, and that's kind of almost attractive. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, she really knows what she's talking about. But excitement and, like I said, shiny things, that's going to be, like, what catches my attention. And for me, like, talking about, like, friends, and it's so much fun, and you'll love it. You'll have a blast. That's what's going to pull me in the most, because I'm always wanting more friends. So if you know someone that's like all about having a party and life of the party, that's the person that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to be so good at this. It's so much fun. And that's usually what else is the men. Or if it's product, I guess I'm thinking business minded, but if it's product, it's still just a lot of excitement about the wraps. I really don't want a lot of details. I might even ask you how it works, but I don't really care. I just want to know that it works. I just want pictures. And oh, okay, cool. I see it. That's really awesome. Everything is awesome. That's a really good word for Blue. You'll love it. It's awesome. It's so much fun. You got me hooked.
Well, let's shift over to Erin. Erin, what color are you?
Oh, I am green. Green, 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 through and through. I do have a little more yellow in me than I would say blue or red, but green. I love my facts. Love that.
So how does that help you or hurt you when you're blitzing?
Because it's an introvert, it does hurt me when blitzing because I'm more hesitant to even blitz at all. And it definitely hurts because I'm the queen of word vomit. I am terrible with excitement. I want someone to want the product or the business because I know why it's good for them, right? I take my greens every day because I know it's good for me. I don't care if it's exciting or it makes me energized or it does anything. Fruits and vegetables are good for you. Drink it. So I don't do the, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. It's more like, you need this, so here's why you need to have it. You need this business opportunity, here's why you need to have it. So it's hard for me to rein in the word vomit and keep it short. Very hard for me.
Okay. What about the helpful things? How is it helpful for you to be green when you're blitzing people?
It's helpful because I don't stumble when someone asks me how it works. I don't panic when someone's like, well, then how did that happen? And everyone goes, I don't know how that happens. Well, I can just give you an answer. No, I don't know how it happens. We have a trade secret, recipe. I don't know how it happens, but it does happen, and it's tightening and toning, and your skin is not as tight as it was when you were 16, and no matter whether you're big or you're small, your skin getting tighter is an improvement for anybody. Yeah. So I'm not scared by questions. So when other greens come at me with all kinds of questions, it doesn't bother me at all.
It terrifies me. But there's that confidence. That's great that a green can have that confidence in a blitz or in a situation like that, knowing I know the science behind this product, or I've read the details of the comp plan. I know the right answer. That's great.
I mean, I knew you're asking about blitzing, but for me at parties particularly, I love that. I can answer not every question, but when people are asking why something works, or if I have this disease or this illness, what could you recommend? I feel like I'm more comfortable answering that, and being comfortable with the information I'm given. That's more than just what's in the product pad, the party pad, or what's on the bag or the package.
Yeah. All right. What about when you are wrapping somebody? How does being green help when you're wrapping, and how does it hurt?
I feel like it's the same exact thing. It helps because I can answer questions. I do have some of the yellow, so I do feel like I come off more in the nurturing sense and not in the overly dominating, aspect. But I guess that's all the same to me. The answer the questions, or word vomit on them. Yeah. Tend to tell them what they need. Maybe they don't want 500 products, even though it benefit their life greatly. Maybe they don't want that. So I have a hard time keeping that reined in.
Is that the same then for dealing with your loyal customers, or is there some differences there?
No, it's probably about the same. I feel like I'm pretty good at retention because I ask a lot of questions when we're signing up a loyal customer. So if someone comes to me and says, I want to lose 20 pounds, it's not like, okay, well, here's Fat Fighters and ThermoFit, have a nice day. There's a lot of questions to ask and a lot of things to determine why you're not gaining weight, or why you're not losing weight. Are you eating right? Are you working out? Are you stressed? Are you sleeping okay? There's like a million questions to help them get on the track for the proper product to achieve whatever their goal is.
Yeah. Okay. What about leading your team?
I do not feel like I'm the same type of leader at all as like either of you. So I don't do team calls. I don't have a lot of exciting, motivating kind of stuff. But I'm always available for questions. I get a lot of text and a lot of tags and posts about what does the comp plan say about this, or where do we do this? How do I find this? It's all green to me. Those details are big to me.
And the good thing about that is that, like, as a blue, I'm not one to research anything. I just go, you know what, my friend Erin knows that. Let me ask Erin, and then I just repeat things. So it's really good to use. Like, if this is not you, like, you don't. It's nice to be able to latch on to other people that you can pick out have certain, like, other qualities and that are other colors than you, because then if you need something that's really detail oriented, you can go to them and say, how would you handle this situation? And we, all three of us, have a group text where we can actually go, you guys, how should I handle this customer? Like, she sounds more like this person. How should I handle that? Because we recognize that it's opposite of our personality, and we want to be respectful to their personality and do the things that are going to be best suitable for our customer, for our team member. So nice to latch on to those people and kind of create a little community for you.
Yes, Miranda has to cut down my messages a lot because apparently I give way too much information in my messages.
And my things are always like, guys, I'm being too yellow. Help me, I'm being too yellow. Gotta find my backbone.
I'm trying to remember what was it that okay, so one thing that I asked you guys earlier, but what's a good question to ask our customers, or anybody, even when we're talking about the business, what is a good question to lead into and kind of figure out who am I talking to? Obviously we know the person that we're talking to, but when we say, like, what color am I talking to, basically, because you're not going to ask them, hey, have you taken the personality test? You just want to know, you want a base so that you can know how are you going to give them more details? Are you going to try to keep it light and fun? Or are you going to be very, I always think of yellows as just very, very respectful and cautious of your opinions. And are you going to be more like that? So what do you guys think? What's a good question to lead into that?
Well, I think, it's just that open-ended question. And I think that on Rap Slingers, our leaders on the Rap Slingers have done a really good job of coaching us to ask questions, to get rid of that talking like the let me knows and like the I just, getting rid of that and asking really real questions that help people want to engage you in conversation. And I think it's the same here. If you are blitzing somebody and you need to know how to handle them, how to best interact with them, asking an open-ended question and honestly, genuinely listening to their response will help you kind of get an idea of who this person is. So asking questions of like, what do you think about that? Or is this just crazy? And then their response can give you an idea. Like Erin, if we were blitzing a green, it would be a really different answer that we would need to have or be able to respond with than somebody blitzing me as a yellow, right?
The very first thing, if you handed me a blitz card, I would say is, how does this work? Actually, I think I said to Lindsay, if this works, this is pretty cool. How does this work?
And so you've just kind of got to know, like, having that response back and forth with somebody who's green or blue or yellow or red, knowing, oh, they responded like somebody who is green would respond. So I now know that I'm going to need to get some research together, or I'm going to need to ask more questions or show them more information. And being okay to say, you know what, let me look that up real quick. Or you know what, I think I've got a picture here for you. Or you know what, let me just text this question to my sponsor real fast. Because I think the green would wait for the information. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Erin, I think it would be, like, I don't see a green ever looking down on you for saying, let me check on that for you. Like, I feel like you guys would respect that more, that, oh, okay, good, she's actually going to look it up.
Yeah, I'd much rather you take the time to look it up than just gloss over it. I think it would be hard for a blue to blitz a green because all of that excitement is almost a turnoff. It feels like you're covering up something, right? There's no substance to me when you're just, it's so awesome. Great. Why is it awesome? What is it about that's so awesome? You know, that I need substance to go with all that excitement.
So Allison, as a yellow, when someone says, what do you think about that? What would a yellow's response sound like?
Oh, I think a yellow tends to be really trusting, which is why I don't really get into the details personally of why the comp plan is great. I just know it is because I trust them that they put something banging together for us. The same is true for how the wrap works or how New You helps me sleep at night. I don't feel the need to know all that stuff. I just trust the science behind it. I can sit in an event and Dr. Don can tell me it's so, and I'll say, okay, it's so. He told me, and I believe it. So I think you have to be really careful not to just make stuff up. Does that make sense? I think every rat person has been tempted to just kind of make something up on the fly because a yellow's just going to believe you.
Yep, did we lose Allison?
I don't know.
I think we did.
I think we did. Okay. Well, I will answer that question for now while she's frozen. As a Allison,
Oh.
okay, I'm just gonna talk over it until I begin. So as a blue, if you are messaging someone and they are putting out there, what do you think about that? And we're talking about the product or the business. You'll know they're blue if they're asking questions like, well, usually if they just respond with like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I think I've seen that before. Are you going to have a party? I've really been wanting to try it. But usually we kind of jump in with both feet and are just like, awesome. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to, if you're talking to us about like hanging out with a bunch of other people, we're going to be like, yeah, when can I come? When can I do any of that? We're not going to really ask you any questions about how it works. I think when I talked to Erin Austin about this, I did ask some questions about the business plan, but that was because I had done other things. But as soon as she invited me to a One Team, One Mission, I was like, yeah, I would love to come to your corporate event and hang out with all of you guys, and get dinner with you later, of course. But when I originally heard about the wrap, the first thing I said was, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I really want to try that. I really want to do it. When are you having a party? So I think that's usually what a blues response would sound like.
I remember at training, them talking about reds and how a red would respond. And they're the ones who are going to ask, can you make money doing this? Or what kind of money do you make doing this? Or do you sell this? Can I sell this? They see the bigger opportunity right away. And they're the ones who can see that this is a first market product and they latch on to that.
Yeah. And Allison, when we talked about this earlier, she had said that as a yellow, they usually say, that sounds really good. It's always a very polite response, typically. It sounds really good. I think I would like to try it first. And they usually want to just be polite to you. They may or may not be interested, but they're always going to want not information, but they're going to want, what am I trying to say here, Erin? Like they're going to want to try it first and they're going to want I guess a little bit more proof.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is she able to get back on?
She's not messaged. So I don't know.
I know she texted a second ago and said what happened, but well, I don't know where Erin's at or where Allison's at. Everyone's the same person tonight. So, okay, but that's pretty much all we had for you guys, right? Am I missing anything? I'm trying to think of any other questions that we had.
No, I think that's about it.
So obviously it sounds like we talked about ourselves a lot tonight. But truth of the matter is we're all different personality types. And so we wanted to highlight those personality types. and talk a little bit about reds too, so that you guys can recognize what you are, and that hopefully you'll go take the test, because it really will give you so much insight. And when you're talking to someone and you can kind of recognize immediately what they are and change your tone or change, be you still. I'm going to be excited about this no matter what, whether I'm giving you tons of details or I'm asking you if it's okay that I tell you more about the business. Or if I'm like, girl, you're going to make a lot of money. Anything I'm still going to be I'm going to have a lot of excitement into it. But when you can recognize those qualities in someone immediately and go full force into that and just mold your approach, it will help take your business to the next level. And so that's kind of why we wanted to talk about that tonight, and just kind of, it'll help you be a better leader and a better salesperson, a better distributor, and a better friend. So Erin, anything you want to add?
Nope, that's it. You got it all. That's perfect.
Okay, we'll repost the link to the test again in our thread on Rap Slingers. And if you can't find it, if this is months later that you're watching this, just message one of us and we'll be happy to send that to you. And we hope everybody has a wonderful night, and we will see you maybe next month with our next little training shindig thing over here.
Sounds good.